Hello, students. Hi, everyone. Good evening to you all. So, yeah, this is for, I'm here to teach you all the subject mathematics, and also like this is for English medium students because I'll be doing the lesson in English, right? Yeah, and mainly I'm here today to teach you all 12th lesson which is given in grade 8. The 12th lesson which is given in grade 8, right? Any guesses regarding what the 12th lesson is? It's what? It's triangles and quadrilaterals, right? So it's triangles and then what? Quadrilaterals. Triangles and quadrilaterals. So here, please have a look. So better everyone right on the topic has what? Unit 12. Unit 12. Triangles. Triangles. Triangles and quadrilaterals, right? So now, before we move on to the lesson, guys, I need to ask you all a few questions regarding a 2D shape, right? Regarding a 2D shape. Like when we like look into 2D shape, which means a two-dimensional shape, right? For example, I could point out like square, rectangle, the ones which I'll have studied previously. So those are the ones which we could probably like say as what? As 2D shapes. So now what my question is, how many straight lines do you all think that we need to make a 2D shape? Or is a covered 2D shape, or in which it is like fully covered, right? So when we like look into a 2D shape, how many lines that we require in order to make a 2D shape? What are your guesses? Fatima, yeah, yes, you have sent me the answer, correct answer. Yes, it's correct. What about others? Aren't you all listening to me? Let's make this lesson more interesting, guys. Actually, this is one of the most interesting part, right? Why are sending me several the other answers? Please think nicely and then tell me the correct answer. I'm asking you all how many lines, how many straight line segments that we require in order to form a closed 2D plane figure. In order to form a closed 2D plane figure, let me say like this. So I'll take a straight line segment in this way. By only having a straight line segment, will I be able to like form a closed 2D plane figure? No, right? Even though if I got two straight line segments, if I join them in this way, will I be able to get, or will I be able to form a 2D closed figure? No, right? So actually by using two straight line segments, you can probably indicate the angle. But in order to form as a complete closed 2D plane figure, the maximum is really higher. Like there is actually like no any limit for that, right? In order to, the maximum is infinity. But I'm mainly asking you all the minimum number of straight line segments that we require in order to form a closed 2D plane figure. So the minimum number of lines that we require in order to form a closed 2D figure is what? Is obviously 3 straight line segments, right? By taking 3 straight line segments, by connecting with each other, you will be able to form what? a closed 2D plane figure. So how do you call this, guys? How do you call this? The 2D plane figure which has got 3 straight line segments. How do you call it, guys? You call it simply as what? As a triangle. Yeah, before we like look into the types of triangles according to the way how they are classified based on the lengths of the sides, and also according to the way how they are classified based on the angles, before we look into the types of triangles, when we like look into a figure, like into a plain 2D figure which is like bounded with 3 straight line segments, we obviously call it as what? We call it as what? As a triangle, right? I hope that's clear for y'all. So now I'm going to introduce another term which y'all need to know. Most of y'all wouldn't be that, or wouldn't have that much of ideas regarding this term. So yeah, now what my question is, you all would have heard this term, no? Saying polygon. You all would have heard pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon, right? You all would have heard about those 2D shapes. So now what my question is, what is a polygon, guys? You all would have studied like pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon. You all would have studied all of those. But now what my question is, what is a polygon? Before we like look into those ones, we must know the basic things. No, at first, closed angle. Someone has means shapes that can be considered a closed figure. I'm getting the correct answers. So if you like look into, it's actually polygon is not a triangle. If that is bounded only with 3 straight line segments, then we would probably call it as a triangle, right? So now when we like look into the term polygon, guys, actually the term polygon means what? Actually, it means the closed 2D plane figures which are bounded by 3 straight line segments, 3 straight line segments, 3 straight line segments, 3 straight line segments, or more than 3. Or what? More than 3, guys. Or what? More than 3. So polygon is what? Is a 2D closed figure or 2D closed plane figure which is bounded with 3 straight line, with 3 or more than 3 straight line segments, guys. But anyway, like in the exam, they're not going to ask you what a polygon is. That's going to be they're not going to ask you. But anyway, when we are studying, we should know what it is, right? It's not only like about studying for the examinations. At the same time, you all must also know what each term is. That's really important, right? It's not only like getting prepared for the examinations. At the same time, whenever we study a term, you all need to know what that is. Because when you all grow up, like, or else maybe when you all come to grade 9, when another student from grade 8 is asking you all like, brother or sister, what is a polygon? You have studied this before, no? Then you would probably try to say a few things to adjust it, right? Like if you're not really sure about it, you would probably say a few things which are not really sure about, right? So we should, when we are studying these things, we should make sure that we know what each term means. Obviously, they're not gonna ask what a polygon is. This is not like science, so they don't gonna ask the definitions, right? But anyway, we need to know what that is, right? Then only it means what that we are studying in the proper way, right? So just make a note on this, guy. So what I was about to say is, let's make a note on what a polygon is. Then we shall write down. So as I said, it's what polygon is a closed figure. Polygon is a 2D plane closed figure which is bounded with 3 or more than 3 straight line segments. So obviously I can take what? Triangle. Even triangle is what? Is formed by 3 straight line segments. I can also go with what? Square. Rectangle. trapezium, parallelogram, right? Kite, arrowhead. There are like several ones that I could point out, right? And yeah, so but whereas, as I said, polygon is the common term which is given for what? For all the 2D plane closed figures which are bounded with three or more than three straight line segments. But if that is covered, or if that is like formed only by using three straight line segments, then we would probably call it as what, guys? We would call it as a triangle, right? Then looking into another separate type of polygon, which is formed by four straight line segments, then we would probably call it as what? Quadrilateral. How do we call it, guys? Quadrilateral. So for quadrilateral, I could point out more examples, right? I can say square, which is formed by, or which is like bounded with four straight line segments. Square. Then we can say rectangle, trapezium, parallelogram, like if you're like looking to square means what? Like this is what a square is, in which all four sides are equal, right? If you all take a rectangle, it should be drawn like this, in which only the opposite pair of sides are equal to each other. And if I take trapezium, it's kind of like what? A shape of a boat. You all can think in that way for now. But this can, if you like look into a trapezium, this can even be drawn in this way as well, guys. This can even be drawn in this way as well. So please have a look into this. Even though if that has been drawn like this, if these two, if one of the pair of opposite sides, if one of the pair of opposite sides is parallel to each other, then we can consider it as what? As a trapezium. Parallel means what? Like think of a railway track. They never meet each other, right? Which means they have the same distance apart. They have the same distance apart. So when we like look into on identifying a trapezium, because most of the time you will be having some doubts in between identifying what a trapezium is and what a parallelogram is. I can also write more, guys. I can also write more. I can say rhombus, kite. I can write more, right? So here I have just listed out few of those, which means what? So what I was about to point out here is what a quadrilateral is. What a quadrilateral is, right? So when you like look into quadrilaterals, we can point out what these ones like square, rectangle, trapezium, parallelogram, rhombus, kite, arrowhead, and much more can be pointed out as the examples for quadrilaterals. So what is a triangle, guys? Which is bounded by three straight line segments. Quadrilateral means what? That is the common term which can be given for all of the 2D figures, 2D closed figures, which are bounded by four straight line segments. So the common term that we would give is what? Quadrilateral, which means square is what? Is a quadrilateral. Rectangle is what? Is a quadrilateral. Trapezium is what? Is a quadrilateral, which means quadrilateral means what? The 2D closed figures which are bounded by four straight line segments are called as what? Quadrilaterals. So square, rectangle, trapezium, parallelogram, rhombus, kite, arrowhead, I can point out quite a lot. I'm not going to write all of them because those ones will not be like mainly given. So we shall stick to the syllabus, right? So for trapezium, right? And for the parallelogram, that should be drawn like this, in which the opposite pair of sides are being parallel to each other, and also the same time they are equal. I can probably say, if you're like think of a rectangle, in a rectangle. Here, this is a rectangle, right? In a rectangle, we know that the opposite sides are what equal, and also they are parallel to each other, which means same distance apart. If you measure the distance in between from ear to ear, or which means the perpendicular distance in between from this point to ear, or from this point to ear, it will always be the same. So which means what? The opposite sides are parallel to each other, right? In a rectangle. Yeah, so what I was about to say is, if you all think of a parallelogram, guys, it's like a bit, I would say, I can actually give a nickname for parallelogram as what? A bit slanted rectangle. A bit slanted. Now, rectangle should be in this way, right? If that has been slanted a little, or if that has been slanted like in this way, then we would probably consider it as what? As a parallelogram, right? So we shall quickly write few points and then we shall move on to the lesson, guys, right? So we need to do like a bit more things as well. So yeah, everyone, please quickly write this down. And then we shall move on to the theorems. And after I'll be giving you all questions, and then I will be checking on y'all how the way y'all do the question. Based on that, there are like few things that I would probably say, and also I'll be like pointing out your names, and then I'll be reading out your answers. So if you give me the correct answers, you'll be featured here, right? So another thing is, y'all need to give me the correct answers by listening throughout the lesson, right? So just make a question, write a question over here. What is a polygon? What is a polygon? So for this, write this down, guys. A polygon is a 2D, or you can probably say, I'll write it very clearly here, is a two-dimensional closed figure, which is bounded by, three or more than three straight line segments. Actually, guys, I could really do in this way. I could share my screen and then I could ask you all to copy it down. I don't really want to do it like in that way, guys, because I need to make sure that y'all how the way y'all have been doing lessons in school. You will be seated in a classroom, and the teacher will be there in front of the whiteboard and will be writing everything on the whiteboard, right? So now due to the current situation, for this reason only, we had to do like this, by sharing the screen. And also, but by the way, I really prefer I really prefer to do it on the whiteboard like this, which will be really helpful for y'all. And also you will also feel like the same as how we all doing in physical classes, or in school, how the way y'all had to do in school, right? So the polygon is a two-dimensional closed figure which bounded by three or more than three straight line segments, right? And then as examples, I'm going to point out like this, guys. Please listen to me very carefully here. I'm going to mention like this. Please listen to me very carefully. I'm going to start with three sides. If that is a three-sided polygon, we would call it as what? Triangle. But in triangle, there are several types, but we shall look into that later after this. Just quickly make a note on this, guys. If that is a four-sided polygon, how do you call it? As I said, the common term which is given for the polygons which are bounded by four straight line segments, which are only bounded by four straight segments, are called as what? Quadrilaterals. So four-sided polygon is called as what? Quadrilateral, right? Quadrilateral. In quadrilateral, I can point out more examples, guys, because I have given the common term here as quadrilateral, right? But I can probably give you all a few examples of quadrilaterals, which means the figures, the 2D closed figures, which are bounded by four straight line segments. So probably I can give these examples. I'll be writing in a box here. So please quickly copy this down, right? So these are what? Examples for quadrilaterals. Right? So the first one, square. Second one, rectangle. If you all know anything, you all can send me a message on Zoom chat. I'll be like saying, I'll be like reading out their names and pointing out. So you all can send it to me. Y'all can send it to me. And also at the same time, there are like a few students who would have joined a bit late. I will also be like sharing the WhatsApp link. Please join through this WhatsApp link to make sure that you all get to know regarding the future free sessions. If we keep, then we will let you all know. For that, it would be better if you all could join the WhatsApp group link. I'll be sharing it again. So please make sure that you all join the WhatsApp group. Or if you all are unable to join the group link, just this is my number. You all can even send me a private message if you are unable to join the Zoom meeting. Sorry, the WhatsApp link. Right? I've sent my number as well, so please make sure that you all join the link. Right? So now, yeah, square, rectangle. Then I could say parallelogram. And also I could point out trapezium, fifth one, rhombus. So these are the examples. Anyway, like we'll be studying about this further. So for that reason, I'm not gonna like draw all the shapes here. So just point it out for now. Okay. To get an idea. Right. So now for four-side part that is done. Now I will move on. Sorry, you're the second one, four sides. So now the third one. So in four side, if that is four-sided polygon, we would commonly call it as what? As a quadrilateral. And then if that is a five-sided polygon, guys, how do you call it? Five sides. Anyone here who knows the answer for the five-sided polygon? Anyone here who knows the answer for this? Yes, Aisha Amza, Ahmad Ashmal, right? So I guess I'm pronouncing your names in the proper way. In case if I had not mentioned in the proper way, please don't mistake me, guys. Right? So pentagon, right? It's not hexagon. Some of y'all are sending me the message hexagon, not hexagon. It's pent. Pent indicates what? Five, guys, five. So pentagon. Right? Is a six-sided polygon? Six sides? Six-sided polygon? Fatima, Ahmad Ashmal, and then Imad Shamik, very good. Shala Mustaq, Ajara, Minsar, very good. Keep up the good work. So six-sided polygon is called as hexagon. Please make a note on this. Fifth one, seven sides. For seven sides, if there is a seven-sided polygon, how do you call it, guys? Anyone? Hamad Ashmal, please, maybe you know the answer, but you have typed it in the proper way. Aisha Hamza, very good. Ajara Minsar, very good. Muhammad, very good. It's what? Pent, X, so hexagon. Then seven side means pent is for what? For five. If that is six-sided, we would use what? X, H-E-X. And then we should end up with like penta, then G-O-N. Then X, then G-O-N. Pentagon, hexagon. If the seven-sided polygon, it's ept, H-E-P-T, right? So heptagon. I will also be pointing out the sixth one here, guys, which is for 8 sides. So if that is a 8-sided polygon, how do you call it, guys? Octagon, then also I will write until 9 sides. That's enough. So I can write even until 10 sides, even I know more than that. But you don't need to know much very deeply. So octagon. Then what? Nonagon. Since you all are asking me, for that reason, I will also write the 10-sided polygon as well. So nonagon, and then what? Decagon. D-E-C-A-G-O-N, right? Quickly make a note on this, guys, so that I could move on to the types of triangles. Then we can do questions based on the angles. There are more things for us to do today. So I hope my whiteboard is clear for you all and everyone could copy it down. I hope everyone has made a note on this. Can I erase it? Can I go ahead? Okay, perfect. So now we shall move on further. So I'm going to erase this, guys. Even if you all are unable to copy this down, anyway, recording will be shared in the YouTube. Even the ones who have missed today's lesson, or if there are any of your friends who are unable to join for today's session or who didn't know about this, please share those ones. Like that will be done within the course of the day, or even by tomorrow morning. The institute will probably upload that in their YouTube channel. Then you will be able to watch this again and clarify all your doubts, right? So now we shall look into triangles, right? So write down the topic as what? Triangles. So when we look into triangles, we can probably say the classification of triangles according to the length of sides. So just quickly make a note on this, guys. Would be better if you all could do it along with me, write it along with me, so then it's easier for me, so we could move on further. So classification of triangles according to the length of the sides. So now, based on this, guys, classification of triangles according to the length of the sides. So there are actually 3 types of triangles that we could say, guys, which are classified based on the length of their sides. So what can we say? Any guesses? Right. So now, please, send me your answers. Yeah, Nifras, I will look into that matter. So yeah, look into this. So classification of triangles according to the length of the sides. According to the length of the sides. Right? Yeah, Ashma. Yeah, I can repeat the question again. I was asking you all the three types of triangles which are classified based on the lengths of the sides. What we can say is, if all three sides are, because normally for a triangle, guys, as I said, there are only three sides, right? Three straight line segments. If all three sides are equal, then we would probably call it as what? Equilateral triangle. And if there are only two of the sides, if only two of the sides are equal in a triangle, then we would call it as what? Isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle, right? And if you all take a triangle in which all three sides are not equal to each other, which means a triangle in which none of the sides are equal to each other, in which all three sides are not equal to each other, we would call that triangle as what? As scalene triangle, right? So we shall write it down, guys. Y'all, if you all want, you all can make a note like this. Even in this, I'm gonna give you all like in a way which is much more easier for you all to study, right? Because it's not only like about like memorizing notes, all the things. It's not like that. Even we need to look into fewer easier ways on getting the theory part done, right? So equilateral triangle. So I'm gonna just give it like this, guys. I'm gonna draw a triangle. Y'all can just draw it roughly for now. Okay, roughly for now. And then I'm gonna mark on each side, I'm gonna mark the same symbol. What does that mean? If I mark the same symbol on all three sides, what does that mean, guys? It means all three sides are equal. So I don't need to study the theory part. By looking at this, okay, I will know, okay, all three sides are equal, then we call it as what? Equilateral triangle. So it's easy now. Easier for y'all. And also, one more thing that I need to share with y'all is, in exams, sometimes they could even probably give you a figure like this in which y'all would probably think, okay, so by giving a triangle, this guys, you would probably think, okay, this side is equal to this side is not even equal. But if that marked like this, what do we do? If they had marked like this, what do we do, guys? What I'm about to say now is, in exams, we should not give the first priority to the diagram. We should always give the first priority like to the symbols have been marked on each side. So even though by giving a figure like this, so it gives you all an impression as what? That this is not an equilateral, this could be what? Isosceles triangle. But then if they marked all these in this way, then it actually means what they're trying to say, that all these three sides are equal. So don't have a doubt here. Don't go and ask teacher, this figure seems to be like that only these two sides are equal. Oh, is this question correct? No, they would try to actually make you all confused in the exams. Then only they will be able to make sure that most of you all have scored lower marks. No, because that is one of the main part. Like, and also like and also main part, which not only like making it's not like making you all to score marks, at the same time to make sure that you all have clearly understood the basic. For that reason only, they would probably give like this. So in exams, guys, if they give a diagram, don't give the first priority like to the diagram. Always listen to what they say in the question. Always read very clearly and also look into the diagrams and look for these symbols. If that mark this, obviously it indicates what? That all three sides are equal, right? So then no any other words, and you shouldn't have the doubt. Okay, this will be like a isosceles triangle, then can we actually consider it equilateral? If that mark it, yes, you can consider it as what? As an equilateral triangle. Yeah, is it clear, guys, with what I said? Please confirm by sending me a message saying yes, or at least why. Then I will know that y'all have clearly understood with what I said now. Yes or why, at least. Or at least why. It's easier for y'all to send. I don't even need a to write as yes, at least a why. At least a why. Yeah, I'm keep getting more whys and yes, and very clear, well explained. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Right. So always give the first priority to what? To what they have marked or to what they have mentioned in each question, not to the diagram. Because by giving you all a fake diagram, by giving you all a diagram like this, they will probably try to confuse you all. Then only they could actually get y'all to score a bit lower marks than what y'all are expecting to score. Right? Okay. So this is for equilateral. Then as I said, the second one is what? It's, and also in my class, I need to make sure that everyone understand the. So that's what my main intention is. Doing a lesson, I will always make sure that everyone understands. Right? That everyone understands the basic concept. That's really important. Not only like about the exams, going for a class, doing the exams and coming back. No, I don't want students to be like in that. I really want students to be engaged with the lesson, to the entire lesson 100%, like very clearly. I need you all to be that much of clarity on that, on each lesson. I need from you all. For that, I will be doing all the things and guys, I hope it's okay now. I hope it's okay now, right? But still lagging. Hold on. Right. So I hope it's okay now. Yeah. Everyone can send me a message regarding joining the group. I'll share the link again. And also, this is my number. Please drop me a message on WhatsApp. Right. I've sent the Zoom, the WhatsApp group link again. It always comes to me as Zoom, guys, since I'm doing session on Zoom. So it always comes to me as Zoom. So ignore that. I've shared the WhatsApp link, right, on the chat. Everyone can join the WhatsApp group. And also, if you're unable to join the group, you all can leave a text message or at least a message on WhatsApp. I've sent my number as well, right? So yeah, so we shall look into isosceles now. Isosceles triangle. So when you're like look into this one, if you all take a triangle like this, now I'll draw it in this way. So as I said, isosceles triangle means what? Two of the sides, only two of the sides, only two of the sides in a triangle should be equal to each other. So which means if I mark something like this, So I'm trying to indicate that this side is equal to this. Okay. So that is how I've drawn the triangle. So I'll mark it like this over here and also over here. So then these two sides are what are equal. So on the third side, can I mark the same symbol, guys? No, if I'd marked like that, then therefore it would be an equilateral triangle. No. So then therefore I should probably use a different symbol. Different symbol means what? Yeah, I've used a single line. Now we shall use a double line. That's it. Easy, no? Yeah, Amna Ikram, I will check on that. Right. Now, so at the moment, please join the WhatsApp group. Don't send any messages at the moment, because since we are like in a class now, better don't, because then you will get distracted. So better students, better not to send any messages right now, like in the group, but y'all can join the group, and also y'all can leave a text to my number, right? Y'all can join the group, and also when you're like leaving a text to my number, please make sure that y'all mention the name and school, right? Name and school. So yeah, what I was about to say is regarding why do we put double lines down? I didn't get it. Okay, Asna Farad. Yes, I'm here to help everyone. What I mentioned was isosceles triangle means what? Only two of the sides are equal, right? Only two of the sides are equal. So what I did was I have taken, okay, these two sides are equal. For that reason, I mentioned what? A single line on these two. For the other one, I can't mention the same single line. Because if I'd mentioned it, then therefore this side will also be equal to all of these. No? Then I can't mention the same symbol again. For that reason, since I mentioned single line here to indicate what? That these two sides are equal. Now I had mentioned what? A different symbol, which is what? A double line. To indicate what? That this, the length of this is not the same as the other two. Asna Farad, is that clear for you? Asna Farad, is that clear for you? Asna Farad, is that clear for you? Got the idea? Is it 100% clear? Any doubts? Even Aisha Abdullah, yeah, is that clear with what I said now? Only two of the sides should be equal. Aisha Abdullah, Aisha, sorry, Aisha Hamza, Aisha Abdullah, is it clear? All right, thank you for confirming. Y'all should be like this, engage with the lesson, right? That's really that is what I want. Third one is what? It's scalene triangle. So if you're like looking to a scalene triangle, scalene means what? As I said, all three sides are not equal, guys. All three sides are not equal. So if all three sides are not equal, can we mention the same symbol on all three sides? No. I should mention different symbols on each side, right? So I'll just probably draw it in this way, guys. Please listen to me very carefully. So on this side, I'm going to mark a single line. On this side, I'm going to mark a double line. On this side, I'm going to mark a triple line. Indicating what? You can actually mark this in your own way. You don't need to mark exactly like the same way how I did. If you all want, you all can even mark it like this. You all can even mark this as a single line, this as a double line, this as a triple line. That's all up to you. I just marked it in this way, right? It's not like always a must. You should always go in this order. No, nothing like that. You all can mark it in any way, but you all should make sure that you mention three different symbols too, because scalene is what? Is a triangle which is formed by three straight line segments which are not equal to each other. I hope y'all have gotten the basic idea on this, right? Is that clear, guys? Please confirm with all these three triangles. Anyone got doubts here? Please, y'all can ask. Is it 100% clear for y'all, or any doubts? Asna Farad, yes, it's clear. Sama, okay. Afsa, okay. Aisha Hamza, Fatima, Sakinat, yes. Then Amna Ikram, yes, okay. Thanks for your messages, guys. Right. So, okay. So now let's move on to the next type, guys. Next part, which is classification of triangles. So can tell, okay, Yumna. As I said, equilateral means what? All three sides are equal. So I had to mention the same symbol on three sides. Isosceles triangle means what? Only two of the sides are equal, and the other side, which means the third side, is not being equal to the other two. Only two of the sides are equal. If you all take a scaling triangle, three of the sides are not equal to each other, which means none of the sides are equal to each other, right? Please make a note. Sir, can we put circles as symbol without a line? Don't put circles because those ones are not. We don't put circles. Okay. Who asked me that question? Nifras. We don't put circles, Nifras. Okay. We don't really put circles, so please don't put circles. We normally put lines like this: a single line, a double line, and triple line to indicate like in this way. We don't really put circles. Okay. I hope it's clear for you, Nifras. Please confirm. I hope it's clear for you, Nifras. Yes, sir. Right. Very good. Actually, this batch is really good, guys. Like, actually, most of y'all have replying, and also most of y'all have understood the lesson. So I'm really happy about it. I'm really personally really about this, that y'all have understood this very clear. So classification of triangles, classification of triangles, triangles according to the angles. Now earlier we were looking to what? According to the length of the sides. Now we are looking into according to the angles. According to the angles. Actually, this is not like a new thing for y'all. Even y'all have studied before in grade 7 as well, right? So we shall look into the first type, guys, which is what? You can say acute triangle, or you can even say acute angled triangle, right? Aina Isham, yeah, your answer is correct. So acute triangle, acute triangle. So if you all took into what an acute triangle is, actually an acute triangle is what, guys? The magnitude, if you all take a triangle, obviously, here, since all these three straight line segments are meeting at a point with each other, how do you call each of these point as? You would call this point as what? As the vertex. You call this as what? As a side. You call this as what? Vertex. So if you're like looking to a triangle, it has got what? Three vertices, right? The plural form of vertex is what? Vertices. So vertex, also there is another vertex. Here, there is what? Another vertex. So we would probably say it has got three vertices. Three vertices, right? So at each of the vertex, there you can see an angle is being formed, right? So if you're like look into angles, guys, you all have studied that there are 5 types of angles. What are those? Can anyone? Let's ask from Amna Ikram. Where is Amna? Amna Ikram, any Amna Ikram can unmute and tell me the 5 angles. What are the 5 common angles that you know? Amna Ikram. Yeah, you can say. Amna Ikram. Yes, I'm Nikram. Yes, you can speak.
Obtuse angle.
Could you please speak a bit louder?
Obtuse angle.
Right.
Right angle.
Okay.
Obtuse angle.
Okay. Obtuse angle, right angle. Only those two. Now here also I've written what? It's what? Acute triangle. So from this you can say what? Acute angle, right? So you can probably go in this order, guys. Acute angle. So acute angle means it's something like this. I'll take it like this. Please look at this. If I take it like this, take this as a L shape. Okay. So in this L shape, guys, if I take an angle which is less than 90, I would probably, you can refer to the angle at this particular edge or this particular vertex, right? So if I take an angle which is less than 90, you would call it as what? Acute angle. If it is exactly come to 90 degrees, then you would call it as what? As a right angle. If the angle is greater than 90, but then less than 180 degrees, then you would call it as what? Obtuse angle. And if it exactly comes to 90 degree, sorry, 180 degrees, which means from 90, if it bends like this, and then if it comes in this way, which means if it comes straight, then you would call it as what? You would call that angle as what? Straight angle, which is equal to 180 degrees. And if the angle is greater than 180 degrees, if the angle is greater than 180 degrees, then we would call it as what? If the angle is greater than 180 degrees, then we would call it as what? If the angle is greater than 180 degrees, we would call it as what? Reflex angle. Greater than 180, then it should be what? Less than 360, right? So if you all want, you all can quickly make a point on this, guys, regarding the angles, because without that we can't do anything, right? So looking into the angles, looking into the angles, we can point out as what? So I said acute angle. We can say what? Acute angle. Acute angle means what? This angle should be less than, should be what? Less than 90 degrees, less than 90 degrees. And then if you all look into the second one, which is what? A right angle. So if you look into a right angle, that should be exactly equal to what? 90 degrees. Third one, then what? Obtuse angle. So obtuse angle, if you look into obtuse angle, that should be what? In between 90 and 180, which means should be greater than 90. So I'll write as greater than 90 degrees. Greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180. But less than 180 degrees. Okay. The fourth one is what? Is a straight angle. Is what? It's a straight angle. If you look into straight angle, that should be exactly equal to what? 180 degrees. Fifth one is what? Reflex angle, guys. Reflex angle. So if you look into reflex angle, we can say greater than 180 degrees, but less than 360 degrees. Quickly make a note on this, guys. And also, when it comes to reflex angle, don't just say as it's greater than 180. Just say, just point out the limit as well, until which it's what, but should be anyway less than 360, right? Should be greater than 180, but should be less than 360 degrees. So I hope it's clear for you all. Please quickly copy this down. Please quickly copy this down. So I hope you all have gotten a bit idea now. So acute angle is what, less than 90. So when we say acute triangle, we call this angle, we can actually call this angle as what? As the interior angle, which means these angles are like placed inside the triangle. So we would call these three angles as interior angles. How do we call this, guys? We call these three angles as what? Interior angles. So if you're like looking into interior angles, all these three interior angles are what? By looking at this, you can have a rough idea saying as well that all these three angles are what? Less than 90, right? So then therefore, obviously that should be what? An acute angle. Second one, we shall look into what? Obtuse angle. Sorry, obtuse angle. So which means this is obtuse triangle. We are looking into what? Obtuse triangle. Because obtuse angle means what? It should be greater than 90 and then it should be less than 180. So if you're looking into obtuse triangle, obtuse triangle. So if you all are looking into obtuse triangle, I can probably take it in this way. Obtuse triangle means all three angles can't be obtuse. In an obtuse triangle, guys, all three interior angles can't be obtuse angles. At least if out of these three interior angles, at least one of the interior angles is an obtuse angle, then we only one of that could be an obtuse angle, because there can't be like two obtuse angles in a triangle. So if there is at least one, there can only be one, and if there's at least among those three interior angles, if there is at least one obtuse angle, which means if that is greater than 90 and less than 180, if there is at least one obtuse angle among those three interior angles, then we would call it as what? We would call that triangle as what? As an obtuse triangle. Okay. So I'll just draw it in this way, guys. Here, this angle. This is what? In this is the obtuse angle, right? Obtuse angle, because the other two are what? Acute. The other two are acute angles, right? If you all want, you all can mark the other two angles are what? Acute angles, which means what? They are less than 90 degrees. Right? And then this is what we would call as what? Obtuse triangle, in which one angle should be anyway greater than 90 degrees and less than 180. So which means out of those three interior angles, one of the interior angles should be what? Should be an obtuse angle. Then only we can call it as what? Obtuse triangle, right? And the third type, as what I could say is, right triangle. Actually, this refers to what? Right angled triangle. So if I say as right triangle means what? If the magnitude, right triangle, always think of the capital L, the L shape, right? The L shape. So if you're like look into this way, this is what? This is 90 degrees, which means what? In a triangle, among those three interior angles, because two of them or three of them can't be 90 degrees, at least one of that would be 90, right? So if one of the interior angles among those three, if one of the interior angles is equal to 90 degrees, then we call that triangle as what? As a right triangle, or you can even call it as what? Right angled triangle, as what you have studied previously in the syllabus. But then you can simply write it as what? Right triangle, or even if you write it as right angle triangle, still it's correct though, right? So this part, this is what? This is a right angle. So please quickly copy this down. Right. So now the institute wants to talk to you all for about a few minutes. So they will talk to you all regarding the classes and all. So please, we shall wait until we move on further. Before that, they will be speaking to you all.
Hi students, I am Asya Ali here. So I just wanted to inform you all, like if you all want to join Harshans's class for maths, what you all can do is, I think Harshansha have sent a WhatsApp group to you all where you all can join. So you all can join to that group. And if you are interested, like if you are interested to continue his class, his monthly fees would be 1,000 rupees. And if you are interested, you can leave us a message in WhatsApp. So we will guide you step by step what to do. So you all don't need to worry now. We will guide you like how to access the website. So if you can't access it, if you find it difficult, we will also help you to register. We will register for yourself, and we will give you the email and password where you can just enter. So please make sure if you are interested to continue his class to leave a WhatsApp message, and so we can continue together. Okay, so thank you.
Right. Thank you. Right. So now we shall continue further, guys. So I hope everyone has copied this, right? So now we shall move on to few questions. Before that, I'll be like pointing out few examples and the way how we should write the answers, because these are the basic theory part. Now only we are moving on to to the main part of this lesson, right? So I'm going to erase this, guys. Okay. I hope everyone has made a note. If not, it will be shared. Y'all can access it on YouTube. Please make sure that y'all I will put on the link, the YouTube channel link in the WhatsApp group in which I'll have joined. So then y'all can subscribe that YouTube channel, which is named as Satya College. Then you'll be like notified regarding all the sessions. Even for the other grades, you can also help out your brothers and sisters, or even your school friends from other grades as well, right? So now we shall look into this. Write it down. The sum of the interior angles, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle, right? The sum of the interior angles of a triangle. So when we like look into the sum of the interior angles of a triangle, you all need to know one thing very clearly. For example, actually, guys, what y'all can do is y'all can probably draw a triangle like according to a rough measurement. You don't need to take exact measurements and all. Then once you all have cut out a triangle, like using a A4 paper or using a bristle board or something like has A4 sheets. Once you all have cut out a triangle, what you all need to do is you all could cut each of these pieces like in this way, which means the shaded, I'll just once on each of the vertex, I'll be like shading these. So here, I have shaded. So if you all have taken a triangle like this, and then once you all have cut the triangle in this way, I need you all to cut at each vertex like in this way, like the way I was shaded. Like you can even take it like this. That's all up to you all. You can take it in that way. Then once you all have cut all these shaded parts, which I've shaded with black here, what you all need to do is, like you all need to, like the way how you all would do puzzles, like in the small grades, or as even now some students would play puzzles at home, right? So when we cut off all of these, then just try to fix all these three pieces together. So if you all actually try to fix all these three pieces together, it would probably come to, you will be able to fix all these three pieces like this. Then the other piece in this way. If you like really do it, then it would come to in this way. Then the third piece, it would probably get fixed. So then once all these three pieces get fixed with each other, if you all look into this particular edge, this would probably come as what? Come as a straight line, guys. As I said before, we already know what a straight angle is equal to. Straight angle is what? It's 180 degrees. So if the straight angle is equal to 180 degrees, by taking all these three portions what I've cut out from this particular triangle at each point of vertex, and then if I could make all these three pieces being placed on a straight line, what does that mean, guys? All these three angles, which means the addition of these three angles should be 180 degrees. 100, and Amnaikram, it's not 90, it should be 180. It should be 180. It should be 180 degrees. So which means what I'm trying to say is the interior angles of a triangle add up to what? Add up to, which means the sum of these three interior angles is what? Is 180 degrees. And normally the angles should be given with the units as what? Degrees. So we would say 180 degrees. So based on this idea, knowing that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, we are going to do few questions based on this idea, based on this theorem, right? So what y'all can state now is just write a point saying that what? So from this, one thing is very clear for us, that the sum of the interior angles, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Is 180 degrees. Is 180 degrees. Which means the addition or the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees, is equal to 180 degrees, right? Is equal to 180 degrees. Now, based on this, we're going to do a few questions, and also some of y'all have asked me that it's not very clear. I will repeat that part again. Yeah, draw a triangle on a A4 sheet, or is on a or even on your on a foolscap paper, or on your exercise book, in those ones, on those papers, or even on a bristle board. Once you all have drawn a triangle, what you all need to do is you all must cut it out. So once you all have taken a triangle, a triangular shape like this, what you'll need to do is take a pair of scissors and just cut at these places. Just cut at these places. Okay. Just cut at these places. Okay. So if you all have cut at these places, you would probably get, here you would probably get a piece like this. Here you would probably get another piece like this. And here you would probably get another piece like this. Then try to fix all of these together. If you could do that, or if you could try to fix all these three pieces together, it would probably uh, be like formed on a straight line, which means indicating that all these three angles, which means all these three interior angles should be equal to 180 degrees. Why is that? Because we know that the straight angle is what is equal to 180. So by placing it in this way, if we are able to get all these three cut pieces, if these ones can be like placed on the straight line, then what it means is, it actually means that all these three interior angles is equal to 180 degrees. So the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is what? Is 180 degrees. Tirushi Parinya, is that clear for you now? Because you're the one who mainly asked me. Is it clear? Do you get it? Tirushi Parinya, is that clear for you? Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? With what I said now? Clear? Right. So we shall move on to a few questions now. Right? Then only we will have some ideas on how the questions will be given in exams. So now guys, please look at this. So write this question. Find the magnitude. Find the magnitude of the angle marked as x in each figure, which means like I'll be like drawing the figures underneath, and I'll be like giving you all a few examples. Then afterwards I will give you all a few questions. Then I can point out few of y'all who have gotten the correct answers for those questions afterwards. So now the first one, let's start with an easier one. Okay, so we shall look into this. They have given a triangle like this. Okay, so they have given over here as x degrees, and here they have given it as 40 degrees. So before we move on to this question, guys, can someone tell me the name of this triangle? Could you all please name this triangle? We don't know anything regarding the length of each side because I did not mark anything. Even I did not point out any measurements here. So you all do not know regarding the length of each side, but you all know one thing very clearly here, which is what? Related to the angles. So here I marked as what? This symbol, what we would probably mark like in this way. This actually indicates what? It's 90 degrees. So if there is 90 degrees in a triangle, you would probably call this triangle as what? Right triangle, or you can call it as a right angled triangle. Even that's also correct, but you all can simply call it as what? Right triangle. I hope it's clear for you all, right? So On writing this, the writing part is really important, guys, because I have seen this part in most of the students that they don't, even though if they know what the answer is, they don't write down the steps very clearly. Please listen to me very clearly, because you all need to follow up the same steps for all the set of questions, right? And also the reasoning part is also really important, guys. When it comes to angles, please keep one thing on your mind, that we need to write down the reasons for each question. Like, look at this. Here, I'm going to take all these three interior angles, because I know that all three interior angles add up to what? 180, right? So x degrees plus 40 degrees plus here x degrees plus 40 degrees, which is this. Then the interior angle over here is what? It's 90. So plus 90 degrees is equal to what? If I add all these three interior angles, they add up to what, guys? They add up to 180 degrees. They add up to what? 180 degrees. And why did I mention as 180? You must mention the reason. Because without any reasons, we just write as 180? No, right? What's the reason, guys? How do you write the reason? The reason is so simple. How do you write it? The sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So when it comes to questions based on angles, guys, please do make sure that you all mention the reason in brackets right after writing this, or even underneath. You all can write that in brackets, or even along with it, you can mention in brackets, and you can write like this: the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. I don't need to anyway write this down. The sum of the interior angles of the interior angles of a triangle is, or you can just say is equal to 180, or you can say is 180 degrees. That's enough. Or at least you all can write it, even though if you all write it as the sum of the interior angles of a triangle, even that's also fine, because that's for that reason only I mentioned as 180 no here. So at least write as what? The sum of the interior angles of a triangle. But if you, it would be better if you could write as is 180, but at least write until this part, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. For that reason only, here we had mentioned as what? 180. Now we shall try to simplify this. Yeah, even Aina Isham, yes, you have sent me the reason, sum of the interior angles of the triangle, or add up to what? 180. Yeah, very good. You can write like that. Yes, correct. So what I'm going to do now is, guys, look at the left-hand side of the equation. Here we got what? X degrees plus 40 degrees plus 90 degrees. So what we shall do now is we shall probably add these two values, and we shall take the other side. So it's easier for us, right? So here, please have a look. X degrees. Here we got what? 40 plus 90, right? So if you all take those two values, 40 plus 90, we must add them because there is a plus sign. Yes, there is a plus. So if we add the 0 plus 0 is what? 0. 9 plus 4 is how much? It's 13. So it would probably come to what? 130 degrees, right? So x degrees plus 130 degrees is equal to what? Is equal to 180 degrees. Is equal to what? Is equal to 180 degrees. So after this part, what you all need to do is, then therefore x degrees is equal to, here there is plus 130, right? So we need to find for x, guys. So which means we should make this the subject, which means this is the only one which should be written right before the equal sign. So we should take all the rest of the terms to the other side of the equal sign. So here there is what? Plus 130 degrees, right? So if I take this to the other side, the sign of this will be changed, which means here it's getting added. If I take it right over the equal sign, this plus will turn into what? Minus, which means the one which is getting added here, if I take it to the other side of the equal sign, will get subtracted. It will be written as what? 180 degrees minus 130 degrees. So from this, I will get the answer for x degrees as what? As 50 degrees then.
So 180, if you want me to do the working for that, yes, I can do that. 180 minus 130. So 0 minus 0 is what? 0. 8 minus 3 is what? 5. 1 minus 1 is what? 0. So then therefore, it would probably come to what? X degrees, what is equal to 50 degrees. 50 degrees. I hope it's clear for you all. Please quickly make a note on this, guys. Please quickly make a note on this. Please quickly make a note on this so that we could move on further. Please quickly make a note on this. Quickly make a note on this. Done copying or still copying anything? Done. Okay. And also one more reminder, guys. I will share the WhatsApp link again. If you all still haven't joined, please quickly join. Or if not, please at least try to drop me a message to this number. I've shared the number as well. My number is 0764656 I've shared the number there on the Zoom chat. So if y'all or if one of y'all still haven't sent me a message or even still haven't joined the group using the link which I've shared here, please try to join the group. Then only I could let you all know about a few things. Or if we keep any free sessions in the future, I could let you all know for that. Anyway, we should be in touch for that. Please try to join the WhatsApp group. So now we got x is what? X is equal to 50 degrees, right? So I'm going to erase this, guys. So now I will do another question. Then afterwards, I will give you all a question. Okay. So now look at the second one. Second question. Now look at the second one, guys. The second one, I'm going to draw it like this. Please quickly draw it along with me. I'm going to mark this as x degrees. Then I'm going to mark this as 2x degrees. And then I'm going to mark this as 3x degrees. Actually, the question is all about what? Find the magnitude of the angle marked as x in each figure. Which means we should find the value of the angle marked as x in each figure. So we should be able to find the value of x here. For that, I have given all these angles in terms of x. Yeah, it's what? X degrees, 3x degrees, 2x degrees. Right? So by writing down the equation like the way I did before, yeah, it's what? X degrees. Take that. Yeah, it is what? 3x degrees. You can go in an order. So it's easier that you do not miss out anything. 3x degrees. And this is one. This is what? 2x degrees. So by adding all these three, the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So what's the reason here? The sum of the interior angles of a triangle, sum of the interior angles of a triangle, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So I have written the reason and also I have written the equation as well. I have mentioned the reason as well. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180. The reasons are really important, guys. Don't be like, okay, for the first question I mentioned it, no. Why do I need to mention for the second? Don't be like that, guys. Don't be like that. For each and every question, you need to mention the reason. Then only you will also have that sort of like practice. Even like in exams, if there are like 2 or 3 questions given, for each question, please do mention the reason. Okay, please do mention the reason for each and every question. Right? Reasons are really important. So now 3 x, here we got x degrees plus 3x degrees plus 2x degrees. So if you all add this here, x means what? If they've given only x, what does that mean, guys? The number which lies before this, or we would probably give the term for that as coefficient, or we can probably say the number, like in simple words, I could say the number which lies before x is what? Here there is a 3, here there is a 2, here there is nothing. What does that mean? Here it's 1. So here it's 1 plus 3 is what? Because all these are like terms, no? Because all of these are given in terms of x, like terms, the same set of terms. So we could probably add this. Here there is 1, 1 plus 3 is what? 4, then 4 plus 2 is what? 6. So altogether this would come to what? 6x degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Then afterwards we must divide it by 6. Here also we must divide it by 6. Then therefore x degrees is equal to 180 degrees divided by 6. So 180 divided by 6 would probably come to what? 30 degrees, right? Would probably come to 30 degrees, right? Because 6x, why am I dividing it by 6 here, guys? Because 6x is equal to 180. 6x means what? 6 into x. So but the question is all about what? Finding the value of x. So as I need to find the value of x, if it is getting multiplied by 6, first I should cancel it off, no? Which means I should probably do what? The inverse mathematical operation of this. Which means if that is getting multiplied by 6, I should probably divide it by 6. Then I would probably get what? X degrees is equal to 180 degrees divided by 6. So 180 divided by 6 is equal to what? Will come to 30 degrees. If you all ask me the division part, I will anyway do that for you all. So 180, then what? We are dividing it by 6. Look at the first digit here, it's 1. So there are no any 6s in 1. So take the second digit together, 18. In how many 6s are there in 18? 3 times 6 is what? 18. 18 minus 18 was 0. Then bring the next digit down, which is what? 0. There are any 6s in 0? No. So we should place a 0 there. 0 times 6 is what? 0. So remainder is what? 0. So then we got what? 30. So 30 degrees is the answer. Some of you have even sent me the values for 3x, 2x, but do we need to actually find all of them? Asna Farad, you have sent me the 2x, 3x. Have they asked us to find the magnitude of each interior angle? No, they're just asking us to find the angle which has been marked as x in each figure. So we don't need to find for 3x and 2x. You can just leave it in this way. Asna Farad, I hope it's clear for you. Asna Farad, is that clear? Any doubts? Asna Farad, is that clear for you? Any doubts? Aisha Hamza, any doubts?
No, sir.
Right. Then Aina Isham, any doubts? Any doubts? Is the lesson clear? Is the working clear? Fatima, Amani, is it clear for you? Afsa, Imtiaz, is that clear for you? Is that clear?
Yes.
Right. Super. Right. So I have given the answer here as what? X is equal to 30 degrees. So Khadija, you have mentioned that you didn't understand. So which part didn't you understand, Khadija? Khadija, are you here? Yeah, you can speak. Khadija? Yeah, which part didn't you understand? You, yeah, you're breaking up for me. Your voice is lagging a bit. Or if then just send me as a message on Zoom. Send your doubt as a message here on Zoom. Right. So now we shall look into this. Right. So I'm going to erase this. So now I will give you all a question. Please quickly try this. Let's see who gets the correct answer first. Let's see who gets the correct answer. Quickly do this and tell me what x is equal to. What x is equal to in this question. Please quickly try this. I'll give you all a minute. Imad, Shamik, very good. You have given me the correct answer. Aisha, Amza, very good. You have given me the correct answer. Very good. Keep it up. What about others? Rashad Ahmed, please check with your answer. That's not the correct one. Aisha, Amza, is it clear for you?
Yes, sir, it's very clear.
Right. Sama, yes. Amna, yes, your answer is correct. Then Asma, Aza, Afsa, yes, your answer is correct. Right. So find the magnitude of the angle marked as x. So anyway, I will start doing it. Abdullah, please check with your answer. It's not the correct one. So please listen to me. Here I've given a triangle. At this point, I have marked at this vertex, I've marked as what 120 degrees. Here it is x degrees, here it is x degrees. So the addition of these three interior angles should be equal to 180 degrees, right? So I'm going to mention that x degrees plus this 120 degrees plus again this x degrees equal to 180 degrees. Can I just move on to the next step without writing the reason? No, it's wrong, because then 1 mark will not be given. Even like I have noticed, like most of the school teachers, even though if you do not mention the reason, they cut the whole thing. But anyway, like in the answer scheme, according to a common answer scheme, anyway, for your methods, they should probably give marks. But depending on the school teachers, sometimes if you do not mention the reason, they will cut out everything. So please make sure that you write the relevant reasons, right? So the sum of the interior angles of the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So from this, what we can do here is x degrees plus x is equal to what? That is equal to 2x. And here I got 120 degrees, which is equal to 180 degrees. So 2x degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Then afterwards, why did I get 2x here? Because x plus x is what, 2x. Then here there's 120, I'd mentioned it, which is equal to 180. Yes, I mentioned it. Then 2x, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this plus 120 to the other side. So it's getting added here to the other side, will get subtracted. So minus 120. So therefore, 2x degrees is what is equal to 180 minus 120 is equal to what? Is equal to 60 degrees. Then from this, the question is all about finding the value of x, which has been marked as x. So then therefore, we should divide it by 2. Also, we should divide it by 2. Then therefore, what do we get? Why am I dividing by 2? Because it's 2x. It's 2 into x. So it has already got multiplied by 2. So how can I cancel it off? How can I cancel this 2? By dividing it. By doing the inverse operation. Normally, guys, addition and subtraction are like what? Belong to the same group. Which means when we say as the inverse or the opposite mathematical operation of addition is what? Subtraction. Or the opposite mathematical operation of subtraction is what? Addition. Then like the same as that, division and multiplication, these two mathematical operations are belong to a separate group. So in the inverse operation, the inverse mathematical operation of division is what? Multiplication. Then the inverse mathematical operation of multiplication is what? Is division. Like you should probably take it in that way, right? I hope it's clear for you all with what I said, right? So now please listen to me. So therefore, x degrees is what? Is equal to 60 degrees divided by 2 is equal to what? Is equal to 30 degrees. So x is equal to 30 degrees. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear for everyone? Any doubts here? Any doubts here? Is it 100% clear for everyone? With the steps, mainly with the steps, because I have noticed, even though if I've gotten the ideas, most of y'all are not writing like the way how the teachers would expect, how the way it should be written. So you should probably follow this method, which is 100% correct. Alza Tezan, right? Right. So I hope it's clear for everyone. Even if there are like a few students who still haven't joined the WhatsApp. Okay. So does only accelerator? Yeah, you're asking you're asking me whether we use only x. No, not like that. We can also use other letters, but like in this question, I have given it as x. So they could probably give as a degrees, b degrees. They could probably use one of the letters from the English alphabet, right? Okay. Okay, Sama, Rashad, sorry, yeah, Rashad Ahmed, right. If there are students who still haven't joined the WhatsApp group, please quickly join. Or if you're able to join, please drop me a message. Then I will try to add you all to a group. I've been mentioning the group links and then the my contact number. So please do. Right. So now I will give you all a question like in this way. One more question like in a different format. Please quickly try this one. Let's see who gets the correct answer for this. Let's see who gets the correct answer. Right. So it's the fourth one. Please have a look. Please have a look. I'm gonna give this as 70. Wait. 70 degrees. And this one as 60 degrees. And this angle here as 58 degrees. Quickly find the value of x. The value of x. Quickly find the value, guys, and send me a message on Zoom mentioning the correct answer, mentioning your answers. Let's see who gets the correct answer. Yeah, class will be finishing at 6:30. Yeah. Aisha, Amza, yes, your answer is correct. Aisha, Amza, yes, your answer is correct. Sama, yes. Sama, yeah, your answer is correct. Aina Isham, please check with your answer. Asna Farad, yes, your answer is correct. Ahasa Tezan, yes, your answer is correct. Good. I'll give you all one more minute. Quickly get the answers. Then I could do it on the board. I'll give you all just one more minute. Okay, so I thought, okay, right. So now I will start doing the question. Please listen to me very carefully. Please listen to me very carefully. So we need to find the value of x degrees, right? So you can consider this as what? As a triangle. So if you consider this as a triangle, we need to find the value of x degrees. No? Then they should have given this. No? If they've given this, okay, then we can go with, okay, we know these three interior angles in which we do not know in which we do not know the value of one of the interior angles, so that we could find what x is. But now the problem is we do not know what this is. That's the problem, right? So I'm going to just mark this as 8 degrees, guys. So in questions, if they haven't marked, or as if you need to show that, okay, because by finding this only, you could move on. No? So for that reason, if they haven't marked it, you can probably take a letter and mark it over there, and then you can show the workings, the relevant workings, and with the relevant reasons, right? So, but don't take the same letter because they have given already x. No? So I'm going to take y. Okay. If you want, you can even take a. I'll go with a degrees. Okay, so first I'm going to find the value of a degrees. I can probably find, right, because a degrees here, please have a look. This is a straight line segment, and even this is what is another straight line segment, right? So if there are two straight line segments and if they meet at a point, which means this what we could consider as what? The point of intersection. The point of intersection, or the intersecting point, you can probably say in that way as well, right? So we know that the angles which are vertically opposite are equal, which means if there are lines, think of the shape of x, the angle over here should be equal to this, and also the angle over here should be equal to this. So this is what we would refer as what? Vertically opposite angles. This is what something which you all have studied before in grade 7. So they would also test the knowledge what you all have studied before. It's not like, okay, grade 7 is done, then we're moving on to grade 8, then we don't need to look back into grade 7. No, nothing like that. When it comes to maths, you need to know, because most of the basic things have been taught, like grade 6, grade 7, grade 8 are like a continuous set of grades. Even afterwards into grade 9 will be a bit more advanced. But if you're like looking to 6, 7, 8, these three are like a little bit similar and getting advanced only by a little bit from each grade. So that if you all are having a better idea or better knowledge on what you all have studied before, that will surely help you. So don't think like this, okay, we are done with the third term exam in grade 7, then we are moving on to grade 8 or something like that. In that way, please don't have that manner, or please don't have that sort of mindset. Please always make sure that you understand the concept, because these ones, even there will be questions based on this even in your O levels as well, based on this idea, because you're gonna, then this part will never be like taught again in grade 11. You'll be studying further things which are a bit more advanced, right? So than this. So now have a look. So this is what we would call as this angle is equal to this. Then therefore you would call this as what? As the, you would call this as these two angles. You would call these two angles as what? Vertically opposite angles. Normally these vertically opposite angles are equal to each other. Vertically opposite angles are equal to each other, right? So which means, or even you can take it like in this way, these two angles are what? Equal. So if they like intersect at a point, the one which is over here, these two are what? Vertically opposite. These two are what? Vertically opposite. Vertically opposite angles are what? Are equal to each other. So if this is 58 degrees, if this is 58 degrees, then therefore this A degrees will be what? Will be equal to 58 degrees. I'm the one who has marked this angle as A. Then only I could probably show all the relevant workings very clearly. So why did I say that A is equal to 58? Look at this. These two straight line segments are intersecting at this point. So therefore these two are considered as what? As the vertically opposite angles, right? Vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. So A degrees what is equal to 58. Then once we have found the value of A degrees, what we do is we should find the value of X degrees here. So as we find the value of X degrees, now it's easier. You know the value of this angle. You know the values of the other two interior angles. So then by using this, you can find the value of X, because we know that we have studied that the interior of a triangle, the interior angles of a triangle add up to the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So therefore here we got X degrees plus 70 degrees and then plus A degrees is equal to what? 180 degrees. The reason, as I stated before, the reasons are really important, guys. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, right? So therefore now X degrees plus 70 degrees plus A is what? A is equal to 58. So therefore all these three add up to what? 180 degrees. So then I could probably add these two, no? X degrees plus 70 degrees plus 58. So 70 degrees plus 58 is equal to what? Is equal to 128 degrees, which is equal to 180 degrees, right? So then afterwards, as I need to find the value of X, 128 degrees, look at the sign which has been placed right before that. There's a plus sign. So by taking to the other side of the equation, which of the equal sign, this plus will turn into what? Minus. So x degrees is equal to 180 degrees. This plus 120 to the other side will turn into what? Minus 128 degrees. So therefore 180 degrees minus 128 degrees, which is equal to what? 52 degrees, which is equal to what? 52. So therefore I can point out that x degrees is equal to what? 52 degrees then. Is equal to what? 52 degrees then. Yeah, Varda Iftikhar, you have asked me a question. I want to check that you asked me, do vertically opposite angles have the same magnitude? Yes, they have. This is what you all have studied before in grade 7. You all have studied that the vertically opposite angles are what? Are equal. So you can probably say, why did I actually mention this? That vertically opposite angles are equal. Vertically opposite angles are equal. So Varda Iftikhar, yes, as what you asked, for that the answer is what? Yes, the vertically opposite angles have the same magnitude, which means they have the same angle, right? They have the same angle. So please quickly copy this down. Please quickly copy this down. Yes, Amna, you asked me a question. So there is two straight lines, right? Then it's 360, right? So you're asking me like this. Actually, the angles around this point, or the sum of the angles at a point, if I go clockwise or even anti-clockwise around this point, the total sum of the angles, or the total angles around this point add up to 360. But I don't need to go with that, because I can simply take it as 8 degrees is equal to what? Vertically opposite. So if this is 58, this will be 58. If this is 58, then you can probably find for this, no, because we know that straight angle is equal to 180. From 180, you can probably deduct this 8 degrees, the value of 8 degrees, then you will be able to find this. If you can find this, then you will also know this, because the vertically opposite angles have the same magnitude, right? So I hope you all have gotten some better ideas on this lesson. If y'all really think that it's really worth going for these classes, it's really, if you all really think that it's worth for the money and worth for going classes, then y'all can probably join for the classes. All the classes for grade 8 will be commencing on this Sunday, and the classes will be done from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on this Sunday. So if y'all really want to join for the classes, y'all can contact me. I'll just drop the number again. Y'all can contact me to discuss further regarding the classes. So I have mentioned the number here. Just if y'all are unable to make a if you are unable to drop me a text right now, just copy this number, just write this number on a paper, so that y'all can, when y'all get the phone, or when y'all get the time to talk, or to time to drop me a message, y'all can drop a message, or to ask regarding about classes. Yes, you can ask, right? So I hope it's clear with today's lesson. So we shall end the lesson with this for today, guys. Thank you. Bye.